Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the Adventurer's Tome Guide. I am Aegis, and today we're going to be moving on to the second part of the Rohendel Guide. Now in this part, we're going to be covering the last 3 major zones of this continent, and some of the hidden stories will be time-gated. So we're going to need to accomplish them all in one go in order to hit every single part of the different multi-part hidden stories that exist in this section. But don't worry, there's going to be more than enough time to get to everything that we need. You shouldn't feel too pressured to get everything done. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. All right, starting off in Breezehome Brae, first things first, grab the vista right here. And that's number 6. Now we will have to revisit this area in order to pick up hidden story number 6 a bit later, but because of the time on it, we're not going to do it just yet. Instead, just head up north this way, and we're going to grab one more Mokoko Seed, right here behind this building. All right, with that taken care of, mount up. We're going to head out of the fairy pond right here and up and over into the corner. We're looking for a secret mob, actually. And you're going to want to take him out just like you do on Tooki Island. Just keep bashing on him and chasing after him until he goes down. All right, and once you've slaughtered the Tooki, you can mount back up. We're going to head down into the pond again, and this time out the south direction. And that was one of the Tooki's 2 spawn points. You'll see the next spawn point in just a little bit. All right, over this way now, we are looking for elite monster number 7. And it's going to be somewhere in this area here. You're just going to want to run through until you do finally find it. It has a number of locations inside of each of these individual small gardens where it can spawn. And finally, one additional spot all the way up here. And it's always in the last spot we check, the Furious Fire Elemental. All right, with that taken care of, before we head out, one Mokoko Seed right here. And we can now head down and southwest over this way. The other Tooki spot is just here. And it looks like it respawned in the second location. Once again, you don't want to let it run too far because it can go invincible. Okay, now those are the 2 possible spawn locations for Tooki. The best way to do this is to team up with at least one other person and camp both locations. You're gonna have to kill him over and over and over until he drops captured Tooki tears, which you need for cooking item number 5. But if you're solo, you're going to have to run back and forth between each location or come back at another time. The best way to do it is in a party with at least one other person. Regardless of where you are in the zone, if the other party member kills it, you have a chance of acquiring the item as well. All right, and after doing that for a good half an hour to an hour solo, running back and forth, eventually the captured Tooki tears did drop. So with that out of the way, we can continue. And just up to the north over here, you're going to be looking for elite monster number 6. There it is right there. All right, from here, you can triport down to Breezehome Brae. And in Breezehome Brae now, just down in this corner over here, we're going to grab one Moko. And we're just about done with this zone for now. Once again, like all the other zones, we will have to return to it later to finish up all the additional Mokoko Seeds. But first, before heading out, we're going to grab the first part of hidden story number 4. And that's right behind this copper ore right here. All right, with that done, we can head into Xeneela Ruins. Okay, starting off at the Xeneela entrance, first things first, grab the first part of hidden story number 1. And with that done, mount up and head to the southwest. There's going to be a few more things to grab before we head into the central part of this zone. There's elite monster number 11 right there. And head all the way south down here, and we're going to come to our first Mokoko Seed of the zone. There it is right there. Okay, mounting up now and headed out west a little ways. The next Mokoko Seed is going to require 250 kindness in order to access this building. And once inside, the Moko is right here. Okay, from there, we can triport over to Moonkeep Hill. Outside of Moonkeep Hill now, grab this Moko here. And from here, before heading inside, head on over this way, and we're going to grab the next part of hidden story number 4. Okay, with that done, a quick detour to Rothun now. Real quick now, we're going to grab the first part of hidden story number 5. And with that out of the way, we can triport right back to the Xeneela Ruins. Back to the same location we were, Moonkeep Hill. And from here, mount up once again. This time, we're going to head down south this way. And down into the lower level here, we're going to find the next part of hidden story number 5. That's right here on the ground. Okay, once you've taken that out, I'm going to quickly check for elite monster number 9, and then we are all set with this lower section for now. And if you don't see him around this section, then it means that he is all the way down near the Procyon's Compass field boss. And that's Magmadon. We'll be talking about him a bit later in the guide. But there's the elite we're looking for right there. All right, once you've taken that out, mount back up, we're going to head northwest up this passageway over here. There's going to be a bunch of hidden stories which we will collect, as well as some elite monsters. There's Hidden 4 Part 3 right here. And no need to mount up. Hidden 4 Part 4 is just over here. And there's that book on the ground right there. All right, mounted back up now. Head up and over through this passageway over here. And there's elite number 8 right there. All right, and with that out of the way, triport back to Moonkeep Hill. And back at Moonkeep Hill now. This time we are headed into the building. First up, over in the dead end over here, is the last part of hidden story number 4. And that completes Hidden 4. Now we just circle down and around. And in the lower section, we're going to finish off Hidden Story number 1 and find an additional Mokoko Seed. All right, and the Mokoko Seed is right down here behind this toppled bookcase. And all the way over on the other side is Hidden Story number 1, Part 2. Okay, with that taken care of, once again, triport back to Rothlin. And this time we're going to head up top over here. And there's the first part of Hidden Story number 6. Next up is Breezehome Brae, triport to the Fairy Village. And in Breezehome Brae now, mount up, just a short trip around the pond over here. And Hidden 6 Part 2 is just inside here on the ground. All right, with those two out of the way, we are now ready to continue back in the Xeneela Ruins. Head on over to the Forgotten Grave. And mount it up now. Just going to head down and over this way. And all the way down here along the edge is Part 3. Mount up again, keep your eyes out for the elite monster number 10. But in any case, up here near the elite is the 4th and final part. Alright, with that out of the way, don't worry if you did not find elite number 10. It's got a better spawn point in the next location. Head on over to the Contaminated Village now. Alright, and in the Contaminated Village now, just kind of circle around the entire perimeter of the village, pressing up against every single wall in this area. And essentially what we're looking for is the first part of cooking item number 7. Now it has a random spawn location anywhere in this area, and it's going to be on the ground along one of the edges around here. So just kind of circle around as I'm doing here until you find it. And in this case, we got it right here. Now, unfortunately, you are going to need to do that multiple times. The cooking item that you create has a random chance of giving you the item that you actually want for your Adventurer's Tome, but you can go on ahead and do that like 2 to 4 times. With that out of the way, we're now going to head down to Vista number 7. And there it is right there. All right, and with that out of the way, one last thing to do in this zone, and that's to check the final spawn point of Elite Monster number 10, which is all the way down here. And there it is right there. Okay, and with that done, we can now triport to Elzowin's Shade. Head on over to the Shadowed Earth. And in Elzowin's Shade now, just head out east to the right over here. Going to be a bunch of things we have to do. First up, a number of locations in this zone will have snails on the ground. Go ahead and pick them up anywhere you find them. We're going to need a bare minimum of 100. Now, continuing on, Elite Monster number 12 is right here. And right next to it is the last part of Hidden Story number 5. And 3 minutes left on the clock. With that completed, your time will probably be even faster. But in any case, up here is Elite Monster number 13. And there it is right there. All right, before we mount up again, we're actually going to check for yet another snail. And we can go on ahead and grab that. All right, with that done, mount up and head northeast over here. Once again, there's going to be a number of locations to grab snails. We're going to check one right up here. And circling around into the next area, there's going to be another snail and Vista number 8. There's the Vista right there. And there's the snail right here on the ground. And don't forget to grab the Mokoko Seed right next to it. All right, with that done, mount up again. And we're going to head up and over to the log over here, slide down. And we're going to grab another snail on the ground right here. And with that done, take this triport right here. Okay, back at the triport, mount up now, and we're going to head northwest. Up and through this long passage, still a bunch of things left to grab in this zone, as well as a ton of snails to collect. You can grab another snail right here. And from the snail, there's one Mokoko Seed on the ground right here. A little further south is yet another snail. And we still haven't seen him yet, so we're going to continue looking for him, but elite monster number 14 can sometimes spawn in this area right here, so make sure you keep your eyes out for him. If you don't, no big deal. There's a bunch of other locations he can spawn, so we can move on for now. And once you're free of all the monsters, mount on up and we can continue on. Down in this section right here is elite monster number 15. And there it is right there. Now, no need to mount up. And the first part of hidden story number 3 is right here. And if you have 250 wisdom, go on ahead and jump down the waterfall. And in this secret area right here is a hidden Moko. All right, headed out now, no need to mount up. Vista number 9 is right here. And just to the north is the next part of hidden story number 3. All right, that refreshes the 3-minute timer. We've got one last part to grab, and that's right here. And that finishes off all the hidden stories for the continent of Rohendel. The last thing that we need to grab in this area is one more Mokoko Seed, and that's right here. All right, and with that out of the way, you can always double check again for elite monster number 15, and it can spawn anywhere in this circular location. So just run circles around the area until you find it. And the last section that we need to access is all the way at the bottom down here. And in the bottom down here, a number of locations for elite number 14 to spawn. And there it is right there. And there's a few more snails that we can pick up down here. One right here. And there's going to be another one up and over here. And finally, one last Mokoko Seed all the way up here. And there it is right there. And with that out of the way, we can triport back to Shadowed Earth. Okay, and the last thing which we need are the magical snails. Remember, we got the first one at this spot right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to camp each spot and continue to collect every magic snail as they appear. We need to collect 100 magic snails and 1 albino snail, which is a very rare drop. If by some chance we hit 200 magic snails and no albinos, then we can simply convert 100 magic snails into 1 albino snail, leaving us with 100 magic snails left over as well. But in any case, let's start doing that right now. Okay, so after farming for about an hour straight now, we did manage to get over 100 magic snails and 1 albino snail drop. It dropped somewhere around 75 or 80 of the regular snails, so at least for me, it was about a 101 chance. Hopefully you have more or less equivalent luck. Like I mentioned previously, if you didn't, you just have to farm 100 additional magic snails and you can turn them into an albino snail at the chef. But with that out of the way, we are all set with this portion of the guide. Next up, we will continue in Rothun with finishing up. And that concludes this portion of the Adventurer's Tome Guide. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this content, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss my regular guides and updates. And don't forget to leave a comment down below to let me know what you would like me to create a guide for next. And until tomorrow, may you all enjoy your adventures in Arkesia.